Okay, morning guys. Right, I have made the journal up and I've also done the front cover and the back cover. And the reason why I finished it and didn't video it, because I had all intentions of videoing it, but the weekend was a bit chaotic, so every time I tried to video it, I got interrupted and I kept backwards and forwards. So in the end I just turned the camera off because it was just, I'd halfway done it and it went off, and so never mind. So what I did, it was very much like the tags, how I did this. Now I cut these out of, like I said before, of the chipboard, oopsie daisy, here, and then I just painted it with gesso to sort of cover it so it looked better, and then I inked over it a little bit. Okay, and then on the front, and what I did here, I just got a piece of copy paper, the tea dyed paper like this, and made a square template, and then I glued and stuck down all the bits of lace, just the same as I did on the tags, which are in here. I popped them in here. I'll go through this in a minute if I can find a tag in here. Here we go. So it was exactly the same method. So I just stuck everything to the paper, sewed it onto the paper, and then I stuck it onto the chipboard and sewed around it. So that's exactly what I did. So it's quite simple. I will do another one at some point to show you, but it's just too complicated to keep coming backwards and forwards to. It's very annoying, but never mind. So I think it looks really, really pretty. I've actually just popped a little picture of a rose on there as well, and I popped some little bits of bling and a bit of pearls on there. So I've just stuck those down with some 3-in-1, and again, here's my little seam binding flowers. They're just stuck down with 3-in-1 as well. And then on the back page, which is the same principle, I just painted that with gesso and inked over it. And then I've got the same another piece of tea stain paper, and then I've actually layered some of this lace over the top of it. So this is the lace here. I just laid it over the top of the tea stain paper, and I did some little wavy lines on sewing. I sewed it with some little wavy lines so this doesn't move around too much, and it sort of like goes with the pattern. And then again I just stuck it onto the chipboard and sewed around it. The chipboard sews lovely, because I said in the last video it's about 1.5 mm thick, but my sewing machine is quite a sturdy one, so that was quite good. So that's the front and the back page. And then what I did, I've actually popped it all together. So what I've done to make the holes in here, so let's just open this up. And these ring binders are 1.5 inches, so they're a really nice size. I don't think I can go any lower because I don't want it to be too tight. So what I did, I've got a template here which I made up, which is 6 inches along across here, and it's sort of like, this was like half an inch here. So then I've just put a line through the middle of it, so it's all in the same here, so that when you to punch right in the middle of the holes. So that was it. So I think I can't remember what was that from the edge. That was just under 1/2 inch. Whoops. So yeah, just under 1/2 inch that was. But you can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact, because you have to remember these are handmade, so there are little bits of error in there in places. So I went through all that, so you didn't need to see that because that's quite a bit of a boring bit, just punching holes. Actually I did do it in the beginning with this little one, but the holes were too small, so then I went back to this one here, which the paper gets stuck in there, so each time I did it I had to pop the paper out. So it took me forever, but it's all done now, so that's good. So I'm just going to flip through it with you to show how far we've got, and then I've got some embellishments to make, and I've got a little booklet and things just to just to make to pop inside, and then we can go through what I need to do. Okay, so there we go, that's the front cover. And then we've got one of my little pull-outs here. So that's in here, so that just pulls down like that. And then we just do it back up again. I've glued it around the edges, so then we've got a little pocket here. And what I've done, I've gone through the journal and I've popped little bits of card in there, so I know how many bits of ephemera and tags and things that I need to do. So we've got 2 on there, so that's the lovely rose paper on there. Then I've got the little envelope, so I need to do another something to go in there. And I do actually, I'm going to pop another one of these, so I need to put something in there as well. I've got a lovely, see, I've made some of these, look. This is what we're going to be making, because these are nice little embellishments, because some of the pages I'm going to leave blank, and just to pop a little embellishment on there. Looks quite pretty. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. So we need a couple of bits to go in that one, and then that's our little fold out of the trees and shrubs in there. Then we've got our little tag. Another blank page, but I think the gesso on there just looks so lovely. And that's our little envelope, our little pocket there. So I'm going to get a couple of bits to pop in there. We've got a couple of blank pages, and then we've got a nice napkin there. So we need a couple of bits to pop into there. I've popped some, I don't know whether I did that in the last video or not. I just popped a little bit of the flower trim down the side. That's our other pocket, so I need to put a few bits in there. I made a little belly band, same again, same way I did the tag. So it's just on a piece of card, and I just put all the little bits of scrap on there, so I thought that was quite nice, a little belly band there. And then that just opens out, and I just popped a little flower and a little bit of velvet there. And then we've got this one here, so one of these that I've made here, look, little side one, that can go on there nicely to hold that in. And we've got another little booklet there, another little envelope there, so all these little bits of white, so I know how many pieces to do. So we've got quite a bit of work yet. That's a heart that I did. I've got a video on how to do that, very, very easy, and I think it looks really nice to fill a page, because you could still journal over the top. I've added a little bit here, just a little bit of a snippet there. There's another little bit of a rose fold out paper. Added a little bit of trim down the side, a little bit of lace. So that's where the other little tag's gone. There's a couple of bits in there. There's the tag, and there's a little booklet we made. And there we go. And I want to put something on the back page, so I might just cover this up with a bit of lace or something. Not sure yet. Something just down the side, so we've got an extra little pocket to pop something in. Okay, so that is where we are so far, and I think that looks really pretty. And what I've got here as well is a little bit of the seam binding, which I'm not sure whether to tie it all the way around or make a little bit here and tie it on there either side and make a bow at the side. So I'm not 100% sure yet. What I'm going to do now, pop that to the side. I'm going to show you how I've made these little snippets here, little paper clip snippets. So I'm going to make a couple more, I'm going to make a couple of booklets, and I've got a little bit of this that I'm going to decorate and show you what to do. So here we go, pop these bits to the side. So all as I've done on here, I've got a little bit of paper, it's a little bit of the thick card on there, and I've just stuck little bits of lace and bits of trim and seam binding on them, and I thought they would look really pretty. That one goes that way. So what I'm going to do, I've got, this is quite thick, this is the 120 gram paper, so I'm going to just cut a couple of little snippets off there. you need them the same size, like that. So that's one you stick on and one you stick on the back. Just going to ink it just a tiny bit for the back piece, like that. And then what I've done, so we need this piece here. So then I've just got all my little bits and pieces here, and then you just cut it out or cut a piece off, or if you've got little bits that are already cut, just stick them on all random. So look, that can just stick down like that. All as I did was a bit of glue stick, because they can be sewn. I'd sew the other ones so they stay, but again, you don't have to sew if you don't have a sewing machine. Stick them down, but please stick them down with some don't use glue stick. I'm just doing this to keep them in place before I sew. You can use 3-in-1, Fabri-Tac, tacky glue, anything like that, anything that you've got to use. So let's have a look. A little bit of this on here. So these are really, really easy to do. Lots of people do the little snippets on here, because I think they just look really great. That's a little bit sticky there. Can go on there. What else do we have? Let's have a look. Have a little bit of velvet in here. A bit of seam binding. Let's see. What's this? Oops, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. A piece can go on the bottom. Oops, upside down. Cut that off. I'm going to use a bit of 3-in-1 to stick this bit down, because I don't think it will stick down. Oops, with glue stick. So let's just stick that on the end, like that. Could have one of these little flowers. That. So what I will do, I will sew these on. Can they come out then? There we go. And what I think, let's have a little bit of a pink bow at the top. Let's cut this little end bit off. Oh no, what I wanted to do, I was going to stick one of these on, because I think these are lovely. So it all sort of matches in. Not one. This one's got the little dingly dangly on. There we go. So I will pop that on afterwards, because I'm going to sew it first. So that's what you do, and then with the other piece you get your paper clip. I put the long bit at the back. Okay, so let's go around this way. So I always have the shorter piece at the front, and I stick down the back piece. So then what I would do, I would stick that down onto there. Well, what I would do, I would sew it first, and then I would stick that down onto there like that, and then I will stick on this like there. So there we go. So then you end up with something like that, which are really, really pretty. So there we go, that's that one. So that's quite basic. Let's pop the lid on here. So now what I wanted to do, I wanted some, because there's not a huge amount of journaling space in here like this. So what I'm going to do, on some of the pages I've got just a piece of, it's the tea stain paper, but what I've done, if I can open it up, I've made it into a square, and then I've just folded it up. And what I'm going to do then is just get a paper clip like this and clip it on the top. I'm going to decorate this a little bit, so we've got extra papers to journal with. Pop that to the side. So what I'm going to do, because we normally sort of write this way, I'm going to decorate this corner here. And then you've got all that journaling space and all the journaling space on the back. So I'm going to do that and just, and these bits here, let's pop all those bits out of the way. These are just 3 little ones off Graphic Fairy. So I'm just going to put something like this on here. Not sure what, maybe something like this in the corner. So I've just got a nice piece of decorated paper. And then let's have a look. A little bit of cheesecloth. Cut a little bit of this off. So we need to do it so it all blends in together. Tie that. So what I'm going to do is just stick this down like that. On there. And then I'm going to pop this over the top so it looks nice and shabby. You can pop napkin on there if you wanted to do a bit of decoupage on there. If you've got any left that you've actually stuck on some paper, you can decoupage onto that and stick it on, which will look nice. Stick that down, little slanty way. So really it's just sort of like making little bits and pieces up to go into the journal. That's it. So perfect. So that, when you open that up, I think that looks really, really pretty. And then you just fold it up, pop it on the page, and then clip it up with a little paper clip. So there we go. That's an easy peasy piece to put in a journal. And on this one, I've just made like a little book. So this is easy as well, because all as I did, I've got a piece of card. This one is, let's have a measure. This is just under 6 inches by just under 5 inches. And then I've just rounded the corners. And then I've stamped some tea stain paper on there and stuck it on. And then I've just stuck a lovely picture on there, which will go lovely in the journal, which is here, which is perfect to go into one of the little pockets. See, that fits just nicely. And then what I can do as well, if I make some more of these little paper clips, they just clip on there lovely to keep it all closed up. So what I do as well, I need to put some embellishments on here too, so they will dingle dangle off. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I make the little book. Right, so this is the thicker card. This is the 120 gram here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it so we've got it in a picture. So what shall we have on the front? One of these. Like that. So I'm not very good at measuring. I'm too lazy to measure, and it never comes out straight anyway, so I just eyeball it. So cut it up through here. Which one was it? This one. Cut this in straight. That. I'll just straighten that edge just a little bit, so that fits on there like that. Perfect. And then what we need to do is just get a normal piece of tea stain paper, this thinner one. No, that's the thicker one. This is the thinner one. So then this came out, what was this? That was 6 by 3.5. So what I need to do is just make an inner piece. Make that just slightly smaller. And just tear this off. So that goes on there like that, just slightly smaller so it fits nice. And then measure like this. And then we tear that piece off. When you're tearing, put your whole hand on there, and that will just hold it down so it stops it sort of from ripping. Right, so that fits on like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp this. So I'm just going to stamp it with my this one here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's have a look. It's a bit grubby, but it's one that I always go to. So I'm going to stamp it on with some brown. The vintage photo. I've just actually popped some of the refill on there. So it's just hoping it's not too wet, but I think it's okay. So there we are. So that will be the middle bit. Let's just go edge it a little bit. What I would like to do first is pop that onto here. Let's just edge this a little bit, get a little bit of colour on there. And on this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this on and then sew round it, which I forgot to do on this one because I'd already put the backing on first before I remembered I was supposed to sew round it. So I'm going to stick this on and then sew round it and then put the inner piece on so you don't see all the stitch marks. So we stick this piece on like so. So 2 seconds, I'm just going to quickly whiz round with the sewing machine. Okie dokie, so that was a quick whiz round for that one. So let's just cut these little pieces off here. Like that. So that's nice, isn't it, for a little magazine, a little booklet. And then I'm going to just glue this on for the inside. Like so. Stick this on. Not very level, is it? Okay. Squash it down. A lovely little booklet like that. Oops. You can see where I've sewn it, but it looks a lot better when they're covered up. So that's really pretty, isn't it? So let me just ink the back because I forgot just a little bit. And then on this one, I've actually put a little reinforcer bit of fabric on there, but you don't have to do that. So now I just need to make some pages to go in it. And how I did that was, I put hair in my mouth, sorry. It's a piece of cotton or something I've got. So let's measure it down like this. drop that like that here. And then we've got, just fold that in half. So it's not going to do 3 of them, I don't think, but it will do 2. Mark that with my nail. And just cut it off. So then we've got 2 little pages like that. So it's just a tiny little booklet. It doesn't have to be big. I don't want them too big because I don't want to bulk it out too much. So what I'm going to do is just going to sew down through this middle bit here, and then we've got a little booklet. Actually, what I might do, let's just see if we can just round the corners off, if this will go in. For some reason it won't. There we go. I think it was just a little bit too thick. Oops. Didn't work very well, did it? There we go. And these ones. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to sew down through the middle quickly. There we go. All done. Let's just chop that little bit off at the top. So then we've got a little booklet, another little booklet to pop in there. Let's just ink these edges a little bit. There we go. So I have got 2 books to go in now. Let's chop those bits off. So I've got 2 booklets and I've got some more of these, so I'm going to make a few more of these. But I'll finish this one off as well because I want to sew that first, and then we can pop the back on like that. So there we are. So in the next one, so that was a few things. So in the next one I'm going to add a little bit of lace just to the edges of some of the pages here, just to go, so when you look at it from the side you can see, so it's got sort of like lace on the pages, so it'll look really pretty. And then that means that we can make some little dingly danglies to hang off it as well. So there we go, guys. That was very quick and easy. I'm sorry you didn't see me make the cover, but it is very, very similar to making the little tags that we did. So there's a few little bits and pieces. Alright guys, well join me next time for just putting some lace on the pages, and then we will probably make some pockets and bits of pieces to go in it as well. Alright, thanks guys, take care, see you soon, bye bye.